The honourable member for Gippsland.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker, and it's a pleasure to follow the Chair of the Petitions Committee, and I congratulate the member for Fowler on the excellent work she is doing with the committee and yourself, of course, Deputy Speaker. And I rise to present a petition approved by the Standing Committee on Petitions. This petition is in direct response to the Rudd government's flawed decision to change the eligibility criteria for students seeking to access the independent rate of youth allowance. Deputy Speaker, I join with the petitioners in highlighting the simple fact that these changes to the youth allowance place another barrier to university participation for students in regional areas. They unfairly discriminate against students currently undertaking their gap year and contradict other efforts to increase university participation by students from rural and regional Australia. The petition currently contains 206 signatures, but let me assure the House that such is the depth of concern over this issue that there are many more on the way. My office has sent a further 2,000 signatures to the Petitions Committee this week, and I've been inundated with emails and letters from concerned teachers, parents and, of course, the students themselves. And on that point, I will take up the comment from the Minister for Education, who has responded to questions in this place by claiming that the opposition is merely scaremongering on the issue. The Minister also said, and it was, in a direct quote, a very silly question when I asked the Minister to guarantee that students currently on their gap year would not be financially penalised under the government's changes. The petitioners who have already supported this petition here tonight, and those who have written letters or sent emails, all of which I am forwarding to the Minister directly, are not being silly, nor are they scaremongering. I know the Minister is particularly busy, but I urge the Minister to stop playing politics with the hopes and the aspirations of country students and take the time to read at least some of the letters from the students, parents and educators in Gippsland and throughout Australia. Just by way of example, let me quote from a media release distributed by the Ball Latrobe Local Learning and Employment Network on May the 22nd, and it quotes the CEO, Mick Murphy, a man who is also not in the habit of saying silly things or scaremongering. And I quote, "This policy discriminates against rural and regional students and has taken a city-centric view of further education." We also have the Isolated Children's Parents Association offering some forthright comments in a media release on May the 20th titled "Rudd Giveth, Rudd Taketh Away." And the association remarks in support of the petitioners, move to a single...
I remind the honourable member that his comments, I believe, are at the statement that petitions be tabled.
Thank you, Speaker. And I believe the association remarks in support of petitioners that the move to a single criterion, as referred to in the petition for qualifying for independent youth allowance of 30 hours a week for at least 18 months in a 2-year period, will have a huge negative impact on students in rural and remote areas. And finding that part-time work for 15 hours a week in small country towns is difficult enough, but 30 hours a week is even tougher to do so. Deputy Speaker, I don't believe the petitioners are silly people or scaremongers, and I believe they are concerned that the government is making it harder for country children to achieve their full potential. And the students themselves, in addition to signing the petition, have written to me directly seeking my intervention and urging myself as the member for Gippsland to encourage the government to change its position. And I've been receiving letters from people such as Lee Rogers, who says, "I've been blindsided by the Labor Party's new budget and the scheme has been ripped from under me without any warning." And parents such as Les and Janice Barnett in Bairnsdale, who have also signed the petition, they say this change will put university beyond the reach of many rural students. It also places extra stresses on the students, especially those who have taken this year off in good faith, expecting to be eligible for the allowance in 2010. Deputy Speaker, there is a moral argument there that is put by the petitioners that these students have acted in good faith. They followed the rules as they applied at the end of 2008 and deferred their studies to work hard and qualify for the independent rate of youth allowance. And I'd urge regional MPs within the government benches to make the point on behalf of their constituents that this particular policy direction is actively discriminating against regional students. And I'd just offer the petitioners some comfort that this petition will be circulated more widely throughout the community of Gippsland in the weeks ahead. And I urge people who are interested to follow this process, because as the Chair has referred to already, the Chair of the Petitions Committee has referred to already tonight, the opportunity to put their views to the People's Parliament is a critical part of our democracy, and it's something that it's given me great pleasure to be part of the Petitions Committee and to participate in the debate on behalf of my constituents. And the Petitions Committee, under the chair of the member for Fowler and the Deputy Speaker himself, has been active in many of the discussions we've had in recent times, have seen some very successful campaigns conducted by residents right throughout Australia. And I urge the Minister for Education to consider the weight of this petition very highly I know that similar petitions are being circulated right throughout regional Australia at the moment. I'll give the last word in this discussion tonight to a student who attended the Gippsland Grammar School in Sale last year, and the Minister for Finance himself may be interested. This was his former school. Another alumni, the former school captain Monique Lawless, is working hard to overturn this decision. This decision is actively circulating the petition on behalf of her colleagues. Monique wrote to me to highlight her concerns, and I quote, "I had no choice but to move away in order to further my education, but didn't want this to be a burden on my family. Students like myself who have made a commitment to meeting the independence criteria before heading off to university have been left high and dry." Deputy Speaker, this is not silly, it's not scaremongering, it's about country people standing up for a fair go, and I urge the Minister to reconsider the
Time for
decision.
statements has lapsed.